It's time to do the boogie and put on a ton of hair gel, or at least a black t-shirt and sunglasses. Hey everyone, welcome to 90s Nostalgia. Growing up watching shows on Cartoon Network, one that usually stood out was Johnny Bravo. It's a name you probably still hear these days, and for good reason. It shows that even handsome guys have issues attracting women if done recklessly. We'll be counting down the top 10 episodes of Johnny Bravo that we think were the most unforgettable or just the most fun to watch altogether. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to 90s Nostalgia, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our countdowns regarding everything 90s. That being said, let's get started. Number 10. I Dream of Johnny. After buying a weird toaster in a foreign market, Johnny accidentally summons a very attractive genie that grants him 3 wishes. His first wish is wasted on a talking monkey, which, come to think of it, maybe it's not such a waste. Who wouldn't want one of those? His second wish is for a perfect girl that shares his beauty, intelligence, and overall perfection. Yeah, you can probably already tell where this is going. This turns out to be a bit much for Johnny, pushing him to use his third wish to revert everything back to normal. Number 9. A page right out of history. A crossover between Johnny Bravo and the Flintstones, Johnny is saved by Fred when he was close to meeting his demise in the middle of the road. It's then that Johnny starts acknowledging the women in the Stone Age, as that's all he cares about. But the most eye-catching one was Fred's now grown-up daughter, Pebbles, who Johnny cannot take his eyes off of. Since she can't stay home to do any of the chores around the house, it's Johnny who's tasked with doing Fred's chores as a way to pay him back for saving his life. Fair trade if you ask me.
I'll give you 5 points. That way you can work off me saving your life, which is worth 100 points.
100 points?
Number 8. The Man Who Cried Clown. A bit of a nod to The Boy Who Cried Wolf, except it's Johnny spotting a weird clown during his flight. The malicious clown seems to be taunting Johnny, as everything it's doing seems to be with the intention to potentially ruin the flight or add to Johnny's anxiety. No one really believes Johnny since the clown disappears or things just aren't normal overall. You got a guy ejecting his seat, and even the pilots are swinging at a piñata. Needless to say, no one spots the clown, and maybe Johnny is the weird one in this whole mess. What else is new? Number 7. Baby Bravo. Can you imagine a muscly baby? Well, unfortunately, you don't have to, because in this episode, Johnny becomes just that. After trying really spicy chili, the only way to cool himself off was to drink liquid taken from a fountain of youth, which turns him into a baby. People around him can't help but go crazy for his cuteness, especially his mom, who seems to miss the days Johnny was a baby and gave her tons to do. Not sure how no one can spot the weirdness, but what else do you expect? Number 6. Bravo Doobie Doo. What could be a more iconic crossover than Johnny Bravo and the gang from Scooby-Doo? After running out of gas in the middle of the woods, Johnny meets up with a group of meddling kids who conveniently have a groovy set of wheels. Johnny, unsurprisingly being into Daphne, tells the crew that there's a spooky house in the direction he was headed, which excites the team a lot, considering it's what they're known for. Not long after entering though, things prove to be a bit too spooky to handle, at least for Shaggy and Scoop.
Oh, man, you're pretty.
Well, it's been nice knowing you, Johnny.
Number 5. A Fair Dork. Johnny tries to teach a young kid to pick up women, since, you know, he's a master at it and all. He lets the kid try it out himself, but the results weren't that great. Johnny then steps in and shows him how it's done, if you can call it that. None of the things Johnny said or did worked on the woman at all, which led to a chain reaction of painful rejection on Johnny's part. We hope the kid took good notes on how not to attract women. Number 4. Beach Blanket Bravo. This one focuses more on a couple that have relationship issues, only for Johnny Bravo to be brought in the middle of it. A girl notices Johnny at the beach after an argument with her boyfriend, and tries to make him jealous by being all over Johnny. Clearly, Johnny is totally cool with this, since it gives him more reason to talk about himself and only himself.
But enough about me. Let's talk about me. What do you think of me?
The girl's boyfriend gets very irritated with Johnny taking his girl, so he gets a bit competitive and challenges Johnny to a surfing contest. We hardly get to see Johnny get in situations like these, so it was fun to see some banter between two very different guys fighting over the same girl. Number 3. Little Red Riding Johnny. Johnny wants to have Squint Ringo's Tunskin Knuckles, but needs Curlman's prune spread, which he believes Susie has in her basket. The entire episode plays out like a solid parody of Little Red Riding Hood, as Johnny continues to find ways to trick Susie or prevent her from getting to her granny's house in an attempt to get the prune spread from her. Eventually, he pretends to be her granny and doesn't really sell it well.
Did you bring the prune spread?
Granny, what big sunglasses you have!
Yes, well, the better to see you with when it's glary out.
Turns out, it wasn't prune spread at all, just a jar of mango butter. Number 2. It's Valentine's Day, Johnny Bravo. Fun fact, Valentine's Day is Johnny Bravo's birthday. So what does he do? He invites everyone he can in order to find the perfect date. Classic Johnny Bravo if you ask any of us. After a long while of failing and not really being able to land a date with anyone, he catches the eye of one unique woman who just so happens to know who Johnny is and is immediately infatuated with him. Not really something we're used to seeing on the show, but it's nice to see Johnny have a break every once in a while. But all good things have a catch, and unfortunately for Johnny, there's actually more to this damsel than meets the eye. Number 1. The time of my life. We've seen plenty of Johnny Bravo during his muscular peak and his many attempts at wooing women, but when do we ever get to see him at a time before he was the Johnny Bravo we know today? In this episode, we learn about Johnny Bravo's first crush. When she agrees to go to prom with him, he believes she deserves to go to prom with a better looking guy, which is what leads to him building his iconic figure. It's fun to see just how far love can go to make a person improve themselves. Johnny Bravo is a glorifying example of that. And there you have it, 10 episodes of Johnny Bravo you shouldn't miss out on. Did you enjoy our list? Which episodes were your favorite? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to 90s Nostalgia so you can stay up to date with our wide array of countdowns regarding everything 90s. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.